You're absolutely right. In fact, that is part of the reason that I declared my independence from the national leadership that had failed to do that. But when the Democrats gained control of the Congress, and I also have to say this, we wanted to understand how it was that people all over the state of Georgia voted in the 4th Congressional District race, even though the 4th Congressional District race, which was my race for re-election in '06, was not a statewide race. And we went through the courts in Georgia, and the courts told us that Diebold owns the election results. So now you can't even, as a citizen, wanting to know what the election results are, a citizen can't even get the election results because they're proprietary information. So we can't even investigate how these election results came to be. And in the courtroom, what they said, the expert witness for the state said, is that you have to trust us. Well, I don't trust this government anymore.
Yeah.
You know, they lied 935 times. That's what the alternative media were able to tell us, that Condoleezza Rice and Dick Cheney and Bush himself went before the American people and lied 935 times in the lead up to the war.
Yeah, and perhaps
And so now we've got the Democratic majority in Congress that can repeal the Patriot Act, the Secret Evidence Act, the Military Commissions Act. In fact, over 200 jurisdictions, local jurisdictions across the country, passed ordinances calling on Congress to repeal the Patriot Act. Democrats were a part of that leadership in order to make that statement happen. And now you can't even find the Democrats. They're invisible. They're blending into the Republican recesses of the wall so easily, so clearly in Washington, D.C., that you can't distinguish them at all from the Democrats, from the Republicans. And so even the Bush tax cuts, they could have repealed those. What's the result? Not only is our country so much in debt, David Walker says we're $53 trillion in debt if all of our debts and obligations were called in. That's how much it would be, and the United States would not be able to pay all of those people. And the Democrats have done absolutely nothing on the tax cuts. Income inequality in this country is worse now than it has been since the Great Depression. People are losing their homes. I think it's the figure now is 1 million homes have been foreclosed on. Many people, I've met people who are upside down in their mortgages, owing more to the bank than the home is even worth now. And yet, the Democrats use the largesse that is provided to them with their majority in the Congress to allow for the banks to get bailed out. But what about the homeowners? Refinancing is not the issue. It shouldn't even, getting into debt once again is not the issue. And in fact, people need jobs. And where's the jobs program? Where's the green program? Where's the manufacture of green technology in this country? Where is the agenda to provide solar?
Well,
my vision is that we could manufacture solar panels right here with the unemployed of our communities in the big box abandoned buildings that are strewn across our communities, and we could make going solar so easy for everyone to put solar panels on their home so that we can have a different kind of orientation, and war is not our energy policy.
Right. Right. So, Cynthia, I just wanted to ask you, I mean, one of the problems is, I'm going to conjecture that we live in a one-party system under the guise of a two-party system. And the situation we have is basically there's no representation of the people. We see that the will of the people is certainly not being carried out by the Bush administration, certainly not being carried out by Congress. And you made some comments in your acceptance speech, which has to do with what does it take to get the Green Party into the halls of Congress so that they actually have a seat at the table. Because I think one of the things people do is, first of all, they vote out of fear, then they're left to vote for the lesser of two evils, and then they say, oh, such and such will never win, I'm not going to vote for them. And I think what we really need to do, we need change in America. I personally believe that you are that change, along with Rosa Clemente and your Power to the People committee. What does it take to get you at the table, to get your voice in there?
Well, technically, we need to be on as many ballots as possible so that the Green Party has the opportunity to get 5% of the national electorate. That 5% then gives the Green Party legally major party status, which then entitles it to receive federal funding in the same way as the Democrat and Republican parties receive that funding. Now, even more than that, we need candidates who are willing to run. But, like, for example, I'm from the state of Georgia, and the Green Party has never been on the ballot in the state of Georgia. And then I come out here to California, and you have so much choice. And so the access to voter choice is so uneven across our country. And like right now, we are petitioning to get on the ballot in New York. It would be a shame. I know that the Green Party has support in New York. I know I have support in New York. And it would be a shame for us to not be on the ballot in New York State. So I would just have to ask people to please get in touch with the Green Party of New York State. And please volunteer to circulate petitions, volunteer and sign petitions, but do whatever it is that each individual can do in order to get those ballot signatures so we can bring our message into the state of New York. Now, other countries have decided that they are going to abandon this notion of voting for the lesser of two evils and this idea that one must vote in fear. And when they made that liberating act, self-liberating act, what happened? They got Morales in Bolivia. They got Correa in Ecuador. They got Chavez in Venezuela. They got Lula in Brazil. They got Preval in Haiti. So when one liberates one's mind and body to act truly in accordance with one's values and our interests, then wonderful things can begin to happen. In fact, I was speaking with none other than Roseanne Barr, and she said, I'm sick and tired of being pushed around by these people. I'm voting my values.
Well, it's about time, and I think that, again, people vote out of fear, but I'm going to suggest that people go to both RunCynthiaRun.org and to the Green Party website, gp.org, and get an idea of what the Green Party is all about. I mean, you've stated before that I basically think that people's common values and ideals are quite in resonance with those of the Green Party, and so people really need to check that out. I'm going to post links to your speech, both the video and the text that you gave on July 12th when you accepted the Green Party nomination for the President of the United States.
Thank you.
And absolutely. And Congresswoman McKinney, Honorable Cynthia McKinney, Cynthia, I just want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day and talking to my listeners.
Thank you so much, Adam, for inviting me to be with the folks in New York. And I will be in New York City on September 11th, participating in the vigil, the We Are Change vigil on September 11th, and on the 12th in a concert that will benefit the first responders.
That's beautiful. You know, I wanted to note, I don't know if you recall, but I met you down at the 9/11 omission hearings back maybe 3 or 4 years ago. And it kind of frightened me because I walked up to introduce myself to you, and you shook my hand, and you said, "I know you." And the thing that went through my mind is that, yeah, you got to see the files on me. So I was kind of a little perturbed by that because I was like, you don't really know me, but I know you now. I'll try to make it down to the city on September 11th. And to note, you are the only congressperson at all who has called for 9/11 accountability, really, other than, say, Kucinich and a couple of others. But you're really pushing for that, and I think people really need to know the truth about 9/11. But I hate to say it, we got to get back to our live music situation here, and hopefully I'll see you soon. And I just want to note also to my listeners, the former deputy mayor of New Paltz, Rebecca Rossler, Green Party member, should be calling in with some information for you all soon. And again, Cynthia, thanks again. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Adam.
Absolutely. You take care, and we'll be speaking with you soon, okay?